All right, a happy, God, I'm losing my voice. A happy Tuesday evening. We are going to do, I guess, part two. We didn't get the trade videos out during the day. My apologies. We had a full scale NBA today. We had the draft pre-show, a lot going on. Of course, we got the graphs out. We just released a New Orleans video. We're going to do New Orleans, Washington. We're going to do Boston, Atlanta, and Brooklyn video right now. We're going to talk a little bit, certainly with. I wanted to start with Kyrie real quick. And Celtics fans who are watching this are like, "Oh my God, is this guy really going to talk about Kyrie Irving?" We're not doing a separate video on Kyrie Irving, so you got to sit and take your medicine for about 1 minute here. So Kyrie declines his option at $43 million. He also had $2 million in unlikely bonuses; those go away. He's re-signing. His contract's going to start at $36.6 million by basically shaving $9 million off. That gives Dallas the flexibility to use their tax mid-level exception at 5.7, still have a buffer of $1.5 million. It's going to break glass in case of emergency if they need to go out and certainly during the year sign a 15th player. But by Kyrie taking that contract, 3 for 119, it gives them the flexibility moving forward. We'll keep an eye on as far as who that point guard is going to go, who they're going to target. All right, Boston, Atlanta, Brooklyn. There was a part of me tonight when I was sitting next to Shams and we were getting the news that this could be happening, that I wanted to go on the top of the roof of the Barclays Center, my old stomping grounds, and basically we used to love, like, I love bottle rockets and fireworks and stuff like that. I wanted to go on the roof and like shoot bottle rockets off because the Boston Celtics, the dreaded second apron, the $500 million projected payroll, the monster, it is all over. They are no longer a second apron team. And by trading Kristaps Porzingis to Atlanta and by taking back George Niang, and Brooklyn is involved, the difference between Porzingis at 30.7 and Niang at 8.2 gets them under the second apron by $4.5 million, including your your second apron by $4.5 million, including that includes your first round pick. You can go out and you can sign a player to the veteran minimum exception. You can bring back Luke Cornett if you want. You can sign your second round pick if you keep him at 32. So you have finally cleared the hurdle. You have saved over $180 million in luxury tax penalties. It's probably closer to over 200 when you add the salary here. And Boston is out of the dreaded second apron. I would not go out and start popping champagne bottles because certainly you make that one trade and you're basically going back in it. But I don't see that happening. All right, real quick, let's go through this here. It's a pretty fascinating thing just from a salary standpoint. All right, so Porzingis goes to Atlanta at $30.7 million. He's on an expiring contract. The Hawks, I would expect them to be active with that $25.3 million trade exception. They are well below the luxury tax. They're well below the apron. They triggered the first apron, but they're not in a threat there. I would expect them to go out and target backcourt help, certainly in a trade, and certainly with the 13th pick in a draft and in free agency with the $14.1 million trade except 14 non-tax mid-level exception. They have a non-tax mid-level exception, and then they have this trade exception that expires on July 7th. I would expect them to be active. They needed a rim protector. I know they have a Kongu. You get Porzingis. He's got to be healthy, of course. It cost them Terrence Mann and the 22nd pick, and we're going to talk about that. So when you take in $30.7 million, you basically have to send out roughly $22 million. Go to the CBA 101 edition 3. We tell you and we make it simplified as far as how these trade rules work. We make it really easy. There's 3 brackets. Because this trade was in the second bracket here, we use a buffer, and it's $8.5 million. If it was in the first bracket, it was 200%. The last bracket, $33 million plus in salary going out, it would have been 125%. Go to there, look at it, read it. It's important here because you had Terrence Mann at 15.5 and George Niang at 8.2. That gets you 15.5. Napkin match 23.7. When you look at Porzingis 30.7, that works, right? It triggers the first apron because you are taking back more money. They sent out a second to Boston. They get a second back from Boston here. That is it from Atlanta's. They needed a rim protector. They get a rim protector in Kristaps Porzingis. They're going to go out and get backcourt depth. He's got to be healthy, though. Okay. Boston, right? 30.7, 8.2, 22 million. They were 18 million over the apron. They are now 4 and change below. This is a total reset of this roster. You looked at the starting 5: White, Simons, Jaylen Brown, Niang, and Queta. That's something. This is going to be a lottery team, the reality of it. And we'll keep an eye on as far as with Jaylen Brown and Derek White. $15.2 million over the tax, $7.4 million over the first apron, $4.5 million under the second apron here. Let's watch what happens with Jaylen Brown and Derek White moving forward here if they get the mother load of an offer. Brooklyn, as I said during the day, the bingo board. Now they are at 8, 19, 22, 26, 27, 5 first-round picks, 1/6 of the first round. I'm good in math, I know, fractions. They still have the 36th pick in the draft. Hey, right time, right place. Hello, Terrence Mann, $15.5 million. 15.5, 15.5, 15.5. A good contract. They get guard depth with Mann. Basically, it's a bonus. Right place, right time. We're the only team that has cap space. Nobody else can trade for him. And here we are. And by the way, we're going to get the 22nd pick to come with it. Watch Brooklyn Wednesday night, the night of the draft. This trade cannot happen. This is another July 6th trade because Brooklyn is pressed up against the first apron right now. They're using cap space to acquire Terrence Mann in a deal. And this will go on July 6th. They are between $30 and $45 million in cap space going into the offseason. So that is it. Boston, Atlanta, Brooklyn. We will talk soon.